Good afternoon. Today is Sunday, April 17, um, and I'm bringing you my thoughts on three schedules on the NFL. Today,
Steeler Nation has the best fans. We are from Pittsburg, the six-time Super Bowl champ. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Steelers, here we go. Pittsburgh's gone to the Super Bowl.
First, I want to check out the draft. The draft is less than 2 weeks away. I have seen a lot of YouTubers, friends. One friend of mine called Isaiah Jackson, and I saw his video and his thoughts on the schedule when it came out. I couldn't make videos because I was working, so my schedule was pretty tight, and I need almost 2 or 3 hours so I can edit the video and choose a topic. It's not an easy process. Uh, People do the video at raw and they upload it. So, and that's okay, and I respect that work. But for me, I always try to do the best video that I can because you deserve it. You are my supporters, and I respect your opinion. Son mi gente, y hay que respetar eso.
The bus shakes them off like flies.
So I'm gonna give my thoughts on the draft picks. They have number 1 is pick 25, round 2 pick 27, round 3 pick 26, 4 pick 25. They don't have a 5th pick. I think it's because of the trade or something that happened. So they have a 6th rounder, pick 45, and 2 7 rounds, pick 8 and pick 25. But on the first 2 is key. You need an offensive weapon because Martavis Bryant is out because of some stupid shit that he made. So Antonio Brown is number 1, but we knew his value when they played against the Broncos and they lost. So the offense played good enough to be in the game, but not good enough to win it. So you need either another wide receiver or a tight end to compensate for the loss of Heath Miller. They got Green from the Chargers, but they need more versatile tight end. Green is more run, block. He can catch now and then, but he's not a real threat. So, and you need a tight end and another wide receiver to compensate for the loss of Martavis Bryant. The 2 running backs are okay, Bell and Williams. So, and on the 2nd round, you need a corner. You have to dress your secondary. Or you can do it on the first 2 rounds. Secondary, corner and safety. You need a corner and safety. I know they're young, but they gave up so much yardage, and you need to better your secondary. And now on the schedule.
When they get a load of me.
He's the type of guy that will run you over and say good hit.
So all of this I'm getting on NFL.com. I'm gonna put the link if you wanna see it. And it's 11 days. I said 11 days, 2 hours. Okay. So first game, Washington Redskins. That's an easy win. I don't see any problems. Cincinnati Bungles, like I said, Jackson says, that's a win. Philadelphia are clueless, nameless. So right now I see 3 wins in September. Redskins Bengals and the Eagles. The close game is gonna be in Kansas City. I give the advantage to the Steelers because they're playing in Pittsburgh. If they have played in Kansas City, that will be tough, and maybe they will have lost. But let's see. The Jets. They received the Jets on week 5. So I see them as a 4-1 or 5-0. On week 6, they played the Dolphins. The Dolphins got a little bit better on the defensive side, but on the offensive side, we still have to see how they do on the draft, which is 11 days away. New England, week 7. That's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be tough because the stupid fucking Patriots got a good tight end on Bennett, so they're going back to old school with Hernandez and it was Bronk. No, I'm gonna check out Rail. It's gonna be a tight ends. New England. Yeah, okay, yeah. It was Aaron Hernandez and Ron Gronkowski. They were the two tight ends they used since 2010. Right now, Gronk is that stupid name. Gronk is in the is doing good. He's one of the top 5 tight ends, and Aaron Hernandez is doing a hard time. Stupid. Getting back to the schedule. Then they have a good bye on week 8. That's good timing, so they can rest because the first 7 games, most 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, is 4 away and 4 at home. So that's a good balance and a good time to have your bye week. Then on week 9, they have the Baltimore Ravens. That's going to be in Baltimore.
As a 195-pound free safety, you just kind of didn't want to see that guy get past the linebackers.
We have to see how the Ravens do on the draft and how they played. They got Wallace from the Vikings, but I don't see Wallace as a threat. And they have Steve Smith, but Steve Smith, maybe he can be like James, but he's not a real threat. So then you have the Dallas Cowboys, bitches. Playing at Pittsburgh. I'm gonna say Steelers. I'm more concerned about Ravens because the Steelers are playing at home, playing at M.E.S.C Bank Stadium than the stupid Cowboys playing at Hinesville. So then you have the Cleveland Browns, which they suck. The last time, guys, the Browns were good was back in '89. Most of you guys, which are in their 20s, were not even born. That's how long the Browns. That's how long it has been since the Browns were a real threat. The Colts, I'm gonna take Pittsburgh. Steelers are playing with the Indianapolis, but I don't see the Colts being like any threat. They got all these good players, and basically they sucked. I think they were 7-9 or 8-8, some 5. Anyway, then the Jets are playing at Pittsburgh. I'm gonna take Pittsburgh. Week 14 is gonna be a real good one between Buffalo and the Steelers. They're playing at Ralph Wilson Stadium.
You saw Jerome Bettis running at you with a full head of steam. Would you want to tackle him?
And a bus leaves clean marks all over his spine.
It all depends on the quarterback from Buffalo. So it's a toss-up for me, guys. I'm a Bills fan since the days of Thurman Thomas, Jim Kelly, so I have to be loyal and have to be neutral. So it's gonna be a toss-up. Week 15, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. The Steelers won in Cincinnati, and they can do it again. So the good thing is week 16 and 17 is home games for the Steelers. Baltimore week 16 and Cleveland week 16. Maybe Baltimore is gonna be a split, but I don't see the Steelers losing to the Browns. 14-2, 13-3, or at worst 12-4. It has to be like a real accident injury. I mean, it has to be a real serious injury to be 10-6. And I mean, it's like if Ben goes down or something like that, because you cannot compensate for the loss of Ben. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger has been the best quarterback for the Steelers since they draft the guy in 2004. I have seen the worst guys. Bobby Brister, he was a real jackass. I mean, for what Coach Chuck Noll did in his last 2 or 3 years being head coach of the Steelers, damn, man, he had a lot of patience with Bobby Brister. Do not see what they saw on that guy. And they had a chance back in '84 to get Dan Marino. It would have been a real sweet transition from Terry Bradshaw, who retired in '83, and then get Dan Marino. And maybe Dan Marino could have won 2 or 3 Super Bowls for the Steelers. Imagine Bill Cowher having Dan Marino when they played the Cowboys in Super Bowl 30. Neil O'Donnell had his highs in the AFC Championship against the Colts. I'm gonna give that to him, but he was a double-edged sword in the sense that he had some great games, he played well, but sometimes, on the other hand, he played like a fucking rookie. And the defense can do so much that you need the offensive side to carry the weight. Since Terry Bradshaw, 83, 7 years, then I have Bobby Brister, then have Mike Tomczak, Cordell Stewart, Neil O'Donnell, blah blah blah. And then to wait almost 20 years to get Ben Roethlisberger, you have to get a good backup, because I don't think Mike Vick's coming back, which I heard on the news. So you have to, in the draft, get a quarterback, late round, a good solid backup, wide receiver, and the secondary. So you can compensate for maybe a loss you get on number 2 and number 3 wide receiver Antonio Brown going down. So that's my thought on the schedule, guys. And as always remember to be humble and blessed. This was your host, Omar Guevaras. Thank you for watching the video.
And there's an avenue for the bus, and the bus says, I'll take that avenue.